Welcome to WEFM's 3 p.m. news. I am your presenter, Jessica Klein. First, on the local scene. The Minister of Education, Curtis King, has said that special needs education in St. Vincent and the Grenadines will soon be boosted by a Cuban specialist who will come here to assist local educators with teaching differently able people. During a recent event, the minister said that a statement of intent was signed with the government of Cuba to enhance educational cooperation with a special focus on special needs education here in SVG. He said it is their hope that the Cuban expert will visit before December 2023 to work with local educators to redesign our special education program so that it can provide better service than what is currently available. King stated that no child should be left behind, whether they reside in the city or the country, whether they are male or female, or whether they are able or differently able. With several hotels planned to be open and fully operational in the near future, growth in the demand for agricultural produce is expected. Minister of Agriculture Sabota Caesar said that a carefully planned strategy is needed to ensure that this increased demand does not result in an increase in imports, giving his assurance that this will not happen under his watch. We hear more from the Agriculture Minister.
With the growth in tourism that we are witnessing, if we do not have a carefully planned and executed strategy, we could see a significant increase in our imports to satisfy the growing local demand. This is something that will not happen under my watch. Therefore, we have to increase the production in greenhouses, in shade houses, and we will be receiving assistance from the World Bank to actually establish some of these structures.
That was the Minister of Agriculture, Sabota Caesar. Minister Caesar said that the last few years has seen St. Vincent and the Grenadines become one of the most diversified in the OECS as it pertains to the cross-section of vegetables that are grown here. Still on the local scene, the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is urging the Vincentian public to not drop their guard this hurricane season and to ensure that they make the necessary preparations. The Prime Minister gave this advice during his address to mark the official opening of the Atlantic hurricane season 2023. We hear more from the Prime Minister.
The predictions, regardless of what they are, I want to re-emphasize. You have to be prepared. We have to be prepared because we can't say that because it might be average or below average. We didn't get a blow last year. Well, we got a series of small events, as I've just indicated, but not a huge one. We can't say that because the predictions is for something normal or near normal that we drop our guard. Absolutely not. Okay? This is why I come every year in January and June the 1st to talk to the nation. I know sometimes you may say, Ralph, I hear that last year. Well, you got to hear it this year again, and you'll hear it next year, and you'll hear it a lot of time between now and when the hurricane season finishes, because it's life, living, and production.
That was the Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA's outlook for the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season, which goes from June 1st to November 30th, predicts a 40% chance of a near-normal season, a 30% chance of an above normal season, and a 30% chance of a below normal season. NOAA is forecasting a range of 12 to 17 total named storms. On the regional scene, a demonstration was staged by activists in Guyana outside the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, urging the release of a 15-year-old girl charged with multiple counts of murder after a horrific fire at the Madia Secondary School girls' dormitory on May 21st killed 20 students. According to investigations, the teen allegedly set the blaze after her phone was confiscated by school officials. A Guyana magistrate ordered for her to be remanded in custody at a juvenile facility after appearing in court, and the matter was adjourned to July 4th, 2023. Women's activist Wintress White believes the authorities should release the young accused and give her counseling. She told reporters, "Let us examine the facts and see who is to be charged here, who is guilty of this crime." Still on the regional scene, two men who had been housed at Barbados' psychiatric hospital for more than half their lives will be discharged from that institution on Thursday. According to Barbados Today, Justice Randall Worrell has ordered a 6-month and 1 year update on the duo as they look to reintegrate into society. The discharge date for 62-year-old Theo Bourne and 56-year-old John Bridwit was given on Wednesday in an update from Dr. Ronald Chase, a psychiatrist at the Blackrock St. Michael Hospital, when the matter was presented to the number 2 Supreme Court. Bourne and Braithwaite have been kept at the mental institutions at His Majesty's pleasure for more than 3 decades. They were admitted in their 20s. In 2021, King's Counsel Andrew Pilgrim and his team of attorneys brought the court's attention to their situation. The court was informed that no documents, records, or information about the men can be found. Since then, Bourne and Braithwaite have been in a quarterway house program to get them ready to be reintegrated into society. And finally, on the international scene, a UN report says that drug traffickers have found new ways of smuggling crystal meth, known as ice, out of Southeast Asia to high paying customers outside the region. According to the report, criminal gangs are now moving more drugs by sea to avoid land patrols in Thailand and China, making them harder to spot. The ice is sold in Japan, South Korea, Australia, and New Zealand. The UN agency also warned that the huge trade in meth and other illegal drugs, which mostly flow from super labs in parts of Myanmar, is also showing no signs of slowing down. Shan State in Myanmar is home to what many believe is the world's largest meth trade. Traffickers ship the drugs out through the borders of Laos, Cambodia, and Thailand, an area known as the Golden Triangle. This has been WeFM's 3 p.m. news. I have been your presenter, Jessica Klein. Join us again at 5:30 p.m. for WeFM's evening news, and we thank you for listening.